I introduced this bill, Senate Bill 1090, on behalf of Timothy J. Piazza. Timothy Piazza was a student at Penn State University and was tragically died during a hazing incident at one of the fraternities that are on campus. His parents, to their ever-loving credit, Jim and Evelyn Piazza, I can only imagine getting that phone call in the middle of the night about this incident that had happened, and then eventually losing their son. And they've channeled their pain and anguish, as only you can imagine as a parent, into a cause to make sure that other parents, such as myself or anyone else who's sending a child to college, will ever have to go through what they've had to go through. In doing so, they've led this cause to rewrite and update our current anti-hazing laws. We do have laws on the book currently dealing with hazing, but unfortunately, they're very difficult for the prosecutors around the state to use to prosecute because they're inflexible, meaning no matter what the type of incident that may have happened, whether it be fairly minor or something more significant, the prosecutors are limited to a misdemeanor 3. And so it may not be appropriate for the act that was committed. And so in this update, what we have done is we've now given prosecutors much more flexibility, where it could be anything from a summary offense to something that's not particularly serious, to a felony if the act ends up in causing bodily harm or ultimately death. We've also set a new standard by creating institutional and organizational hazing, meaning that if, like a university such as Penn State or any other universities we have in our Commonwealth, is not taking an active role to discourage and to prevent hazing happening on their campuses, that there could be liability held in place for them as well through fines for incidents. Organizational, such as national organizations of Greek life, are not, again, putting out the proper discouragement for this type of behavior, can be held liable as well through organizational hazing, and it could lead to forfeiture of property if necessary. Mr. President, this also is an important part of this legislation, offers safe harbor for other people who may be nearby to call. I think one of the problems we've had is people don't want the person to get into trouble, they don't want themselves to get into trouble, and so therefore they don't call, which was the case in the Timothy Piazza case, that even though he had consumed a significant amount of alcohol during the event and fell down the steps, no one called 911 until, unfortunately, it was too late. And so this would offer a safe harbor for someone to make that call to make sure the person in distress is taken care of. Again, Mr. President, this is a result of a very difficult situation that happened, but to the family's credit, they've taken up this issue so that we can provide the proper deterrence for hazing in the Commonwealth. This is not to be an attack on Greek life. I'm a Greek myself when I was in college, and it's a very important part of college life, and they do wondrous things and very things that you're very proud of. But certain things over time have got to become things of the past, and I think hazing, in particular this type of hazing, is something that we need to take a stand on, and we need to discourage it in Pennsylvania. And I think this update of this law will do just that. And so I want to credit the family for having the courage to take this up so that other parents won't have to go through that they had to go through. Thank you, Mr. President.